from the pole, 'cause I put it in the wall. Second lap of my heat, got a little loose coming out of 3. Got it all beat up and straightened out. The boys tell me that we're ready to run now. That's a damn good thing, 'cause that green flag's waving and I'm on the gas. I put my sweat and blood to these nuts and bolts. Yeah, I turn a wrench. It's the only way I can afford to fill it up again, tear it up again. It's the only way I'm ever gonna learn. One more left turn.
How's it going, everybody? Once again, it is Inside Line, presented to you by our friends at Dirt Track Bank. Ryan Kumpf in tonight, finally. It's been a while since I've been on the show. Scott and Rob have been able to hold down the fort the last few weeks. And Rob, great to see you, man. We've got a lot of great news to go over tonight. We finally, after a whole offseason, we finally get to recap a night of racing, especially the Stock Car Crown Series.
Man, it's going to be awesome. We finally got a race in, and what an exciting night up at Off Road Speedway in Norfolk. Can't wait to talk about that, Ryan. I think the real question, though, is, Ryan, that we've been asking the last month or month and a half is, where's Ryan? So now we finally found you. We lost Scott tonight, but we're going to have fun tonight. We got a huge announcement. We got a pretty cool guest coming on, then we got a huge announcement right after that.
Absolutely, absolutely. We've got Jeff Ware, who's going to be joining the program here in just a second. He was our winner this past Saturday. I know you and Scott were actually both on vacation Saturday, so you missed a whale of a race. We had 47 stock cars the first night here at Off Road Speedway. And that continues a streak of we've only had one event so far. That's about a stock car crown race that we had under 40 cars. So that's a pretty good, healthy string, and we had a lot of heavy hitters Saturday.
It was awesome. I know Scott and I, we both had family Easter vacations. You know, when you know, Ryan, you'll learn this when your kids get a little older. There's only so many days during the school year that you can get away, and I couldn't pass up going skiing with my daughters this weekend. So I didn't want to miss it, but I had to this year. But I've heard all about it. I've seen some highlights. Man, not only heavy hitters, Ryan, but the racing. I mean, I don't think anybody was giving each other an inch on that track, and it was fast. So can't wait to show some highlights of that race as well. And, yeah, what an awesome time. 47 race cars. Let's keep that streak going. And it's all because of great racers. They just keep supporting us. We'll just keep doing a good job to try to give back to them, working with great track promoters. So it's kind of just a win-win. I'll probably say that here in a little bit again, but seriously, it's awesome to have the support we have, and we just need to keep working together on this.
Absolutely. And, you know, we always talk about the stock cars on this show. I was impressed with the hobby stock car count as well. I think they had well over 30, I think 2 B features in the hobby stocks. And Norfolk's always a great track for hobby stock racing. I think most weeks they get a B feature for their weekly shows. So that's always a great class to watch. And Lance Melke picked up the win on Saturday night in the support feature. But let's go ahead and bring on the stock car crown feature winner, Jeff Ware. Tell you what, Jeff, what a run on Saturday. Now, you had a strong heat race, but going into that feature, especially where you started, was your mindset top 5, or did you think you really could have a shot at that win?
Yeah, it was kind of funny. We the mindset was to go for the win right away, especially with how the track was kind of turning out to be pretty high side dominant. I just told all my crew guys, they're asking, "Oh, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?" And I said, I'm throwing a slider going into 1. I got to get to the top, and I got to beat them there. So that was my full intention. About 45 minutes before the race even started, was sliding Dan going into 1, and it worked out.
And Dan did a nice job. He respected you. He knew you were coming up. He tried to turn under you. I seen that highlight, and I mean, all through the race, I seen a lot of respect between the guys right behind you. They were pushing you hard for a while. They had to contend with each other. You got out running pretty good. So awesome race, man. I mean, I'm excited for you right up in your neck of the woods and getting your first Dirt Crown win. Oh, there's the slider to start the night. Here comes Dan underneath. you just had a lot of momentum to carry you down the backstretch. So
the car had good drive. So yeah, we just kept digging on it, and I think Dan throws a slider right here, and I knew it was a little too aggressive and just to cut him on it, but it was great to run up there with those guys and be in the mix. So
talk about the racetrack a little bit, Jeff. That was like we talked in the post-race interview. That track was really technical on the top side. It seemed like you had a pretty fine line, especially with Jordan closing in on you. You make one mistake, and Grabo's probably going to get you.
Yeah, it was definitely technical because coming out of turn 4, as much as it doesn't look like it, you're only half throttle. I was pedaling the car pretty good out of 4, and the cushion in 1 and 2 was good until you got to the cushion, and then if you missed the cushion even a little bit, there was so much mud up there, if you want to say, just kind of fluffy mud, and it wasn't good because I missed it once. But the track was definitely slower in 3 and 4, and a little more fast paced in 1 and 2, and you just had to make sure you drove slower into 3 and a little harder into 1, and remembered what turn you were in.
Right. Ryan, you got any highlights of heat races? I do. Yeah. I mean, the heat races look pretty good too. It looked like maybe people were trying to get down to the middle to bottom, but some guys were trying to even a higher line. I think, Jeff, you kind of moved around a little bit in your heat race. Some things kind of shook out, but that was competitive as well.
Yeah, I was definitely I got kind of drove up high a little bit into 1, and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to have to try the high side here. And it I think it might have worked out. I'm not really sure, but then, the events happened in my heat race that, and it just gave us a better restart position. And then I didn't want to leave the bottom after that. But I think that if somebody had to run the high side in the heat race, it would have definitely came in.
Right.
Talk about, Jeff. I know you're registered for the whole season again. And what was it last year? I think you finished top 5 in your rookie year. What type of boost can this be for your team running the points for the Stock Car Crown Series, coming off with the win to start the year?
Yeah, it's massive. So I'm kind of like basing my schedule this year around some bigger events, and definitely running the Dirt Crown full time. Probably not running weekly at Albion or Eagle so much. I say that now until it happens, but no, we want to travel around a little bit, kind of run for some bigger money. We always thought that we could run for it and have a chance at winning it, and just winning one is huge. And it takes an average stock car A features $300, and it was $2,000 just to win one race. So I mean, it makes a huge impact for our team going forward, and we look forward to racing many more Dirt Crown events and many more specials along the way. So
I'll build off that, Ryan. Jeff was with us every single night last year, and if he wasn't right at the front, he was close. He was mixing it up, and it really paid off for Jeff throughout the whole year. And I think probably with a week or two to go, I mean, you were right there in that 3rd, 4th position the whole time with great competitors like Bronner and such. So, I mean, we thank you for the time and the effort that you guys put into it. But what you just said, $2,000 to win, we got to thank our tracks, because they take the risk of putting all that money up to win. But let's not forget it. Like Jerry up there and the Norfolk guys, they put up $250 just to start that A. So everybody's committed on this deal. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's a great deal. As a driver, I mean, it's hard not to go somewhere to have $250 to start when a normal A feature pays $300 to win. I mean, it's almost a no-brainer in my eyes. So, no, we appreciate what you and Scott and the whole Dirt Crown guys do, and paying it forward to us drivers who put a lot of miles on during the year and a lot of time in the shop, and letting us showcase our talent on the track, racing for some good quality money and some good quality prizes and contingencies and everything like that at the end of the year. So it doesn't go unnoticed in my eyes, for sure.
Jeff, this is not only $2,000 is huge for you guys, but Saturday was an extra meeting because it was the 1,000th Charger chassis win. Talk about just being able to have your name beside that. And then I thought the other cool thing was you had one of your best friends, Austin Bronner, podium right there with you, and he's also a Charger chassis. So two of the top 3 cars were Charger chassis.
Yeah, that was incredible. Jamie decided to start giving this kind of driver bonus program for his wins a few years ago. I think he started at 500, and I won that. And then I won the 600th win, and then I won the 700th win. And then somebody else got 8 and 9, and then the 1,000th win was pretty big because that was actually another $1,000. So Saturday actually paid $3,000 for me to take the checkered. So it was even bigger for me. But no, Jamie, he treats all of us really well, and and he builds good quality cars. And then to have Austin up there, and Austin's obviously one of my best friends, and to have him up there, and obviously I had no idea where he was because the scoreboard was down and everything. And so when I found out that he finished 3rd right up there with me, it was good to let everybody know that we got some cars, hopefully that can compete well this year.
That's a pretty good victory lane picture there with your crew, Jeff. Where are you going to hang your trophy? That's probably the question of the week, Jeff. Where are you going to hang that?
I was going to say above the bed, but Morgan said no to that one. I don't know. I have no idea.
I like the photo in the trailer, to be honest with you. Just show that off every week.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, we just keep the lights down and let that one light up. I'm sure we'll hang it in the basement or along my other trophies. Or I don't really want it at the shop because the shop just gets dirty. And
that's not the word.
I got a trophy.
Oh,
all my trophies there.
It is already.
Yeah. All my trophies at the shop are all dirty, so I probably keep this one at home.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's good to know.
Yeah.
Talk about sponsors, Jeff. I know it takes a lot of people to get you down the road. Obviously, you talked Jamie at Charger Chassis, but you got a lot of different sponsors on your car. Usually, you're probably one of the fuller cars when it comes to that.
Yeah, no, I've had a lot of people on my car for a long time, and
I'll bring you on in a minute.
Appreciate all their help. Man, I kind of like that picture up there. I could read my fire suit.
Oh, here, I could fix that.
But Austin, 10A Race Shrouds, TNR Auto Repair, Denny Fuller with CPD Racing Shocks. He's a great guy, and he takes care of us. Hein Auto Body, Shane's Repair. Oh man, I'm gonna hag this one. Sawfeld Trucking, a great friend of mine, helps me out in the shop and everything. My dad, my mom, my fiance, just so many people. Demon Decals, obviously. I think the car looks incredible this year. CNC Auto Repair. He helps us out a lot. Knickknacks Beer Service. All the beer we drink. There's a lot. Cork and Barrel. Who else here? There's plenty. Napa. But Dynamic Drive Lines, Roth Racing, Elite Mobile Blasting, just everybody, Mid-States, Engines. There's a lot of people who take care of us, and it definitely is takes all those components to make a fast race car, and so we appreciate all their help.
I guess I do have one more question for you, Jeff. Obviously, you ran weekly at Eagle last year. Friday's going to be a big night. That's night number 2. And last year we didn't actually get to race at Eagle because of the icebreaker being washed out. But talk about for any drivers who haven't been to Eagle Raceway, what are they going to be expecting to see on Friday?
So I like each track individually. A lot of people ask me like what my favorite track is. And, I like Columbus because it's slow and it takes a driver to run that track. And Eagle is just hustling, and it takes all that you have. Like you get out of the car and you're breathing hard because it's a track. I mean, it takes everything out of you to run that place, and it's fast, and it's I want to say like untamable, but it takes a lot. It's a hustling place, and it can be rough sometimes, and you just got to find your way through it the fastest. And there's a lot of stiff competition there that run there weekly. That can put up a good fight.
Well, we're pretty pumped to be able to go to Eagle. Last year, yeah, we got rained out there. So to have Roger letting us come in with the Dirt Crown and run the stock cars with them. Jeff, you've been a champion there before in the hobby stock. I know you know how to get around there. So I hope that we get a nice crowd of cars again and be very competitive. I don't know if you know this, but as our current points leader on the West, you're going to be carrying the Noonan gold mud plugs on the right side of your car. So I don't know. What's that going to look like with the gray, silver, and green? I guess we'll have to take a couple pictures, Jeff. So
yeah, it'll look a little different, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, we do need to thank Noonan, though. They give away mud plugs every night in our pit meetings. So we've got so many great sponsors. I think you probably won a couple things in our pit meetings and contingencies. And Jeff, I know before you go, and I don't know if you got anything, Ryan, left for Jeff, but just the last thing, maybe you've heard a little rumor that we're going to be talking about tonight when we bring our next guest on. But as a member of Dirt Crown, are you excited to hear some upcoming news that you're going to get something else? You're going to get paid for your efforts every night when you race with us.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I got the little insight on Saturday, and I think it's a cool deal. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of earn back for the drivers. So yeah, I'm excited for you guys to share that news, and I think everybody else should like it too. I don't see why you wouldn't. Right.
I guess we just need to take care of each other, and you guys put a lot of time and effort. Your costs have went up, the track's costs have went up. So with our next announcement coming up here, we're going to take care of everybody even more. So thank you for being a part of our series again this year. We're going to have a blast, I'm sure.
Yeah, I agree. I appreciate everything you guys are doing, and we'll just we'll roll and see what the year has in store for us.
Yep. Ryan, you got anything left for Jeff?
Nope. We'll let him get out and continue to celebrate the win and get ready for Friday.
I got to go work on the car now.
Back to reality come Monday.
Yeah.
It's right there, back in the shop.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Thanks, Jeff.
Once again, Jeff Ware, as he is our winner from Off Road Speedway. Do we want to bring Joe on right now, or do we want to do a full recap of Saturday, I guess, Rob?
Well,
whichever one you want to do.
You know what? I mean, we barely talked about Saturday, but we got some big news coming on, and we've got Joe sitting here. I got to make sure Joe's with us here. He's on my phone.
We got to do a proper introduction. Joe Kosiski.
Joe, yeah, it's not just any Joe. It's Joe Kosiski. Joe, can you hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Ryan, can you hear Joe?
It's probably about as good as we can get. You know, it's one of those things we have to go on the fly sometimes with this program. And Joe's such a busy man. He's out on the road. So the internet service wasn't quite the best getting him connected. So we got him on Rob's cell phone here. But I think this will work just fine for tonight.
Well, let's just get right into our announcement. Joe, I guess you want to take it or you want me to take it?
Rob, go ahead. You'll start, and I'll help you out if there's anything we need to be helped on.
All right. So just here's our deal. So Scott and I at Dirt Crown Promotions with our Dirt Crown stock cars have worked out a partnership with Joe and Steve Kosiski and the Kosiski family, Lisa and everyone. We're going to join up the SLMR East and West Series, the Malvern Bank 360s, and our Dirt Crown stock car series. And we are going to launch a new streaming service. It's going to be called DirtCrownTV. And we've got a lot of interesting things to talk about tonight with that. We want to focus on a lot of tracks that do not right now have any streaming services. We're going to share with you a couple things about helping the tracks out and a very, very interesting idea to help our drivers out. So, Joe, do you want to take any of that?
Well, I can, Rob. Let's just kind of go here. We know that a lot of the TV stuff, it definitely has to work with the racetracks to be able to get everyone to watch that is not showing up for the race. First of all and foremost, we need everyone to show up at the tracks. When they're close enough, go watch the races. But when you can't get there and you're down and out, you just need to stay home, you got a baby that's sick or something, we are going to have the streaming service. It'll be we're going to have a yearly network fee or a per race fee. And the drivers that are our members of SLMR or the Malvern Bank 360s, or of the Dirt Crown stock cars, we're going to be able to put a code in for each one of their names, and they're going to help us advertise so we can help get the tracks more people yet. I mean, I was looking at some of these guys that got 6,000, 5,000 people. I think me and Rob was looking the other day, and Dalton Birdie had 12,000 followers. So if they could be getting a few of their fans watching the races to help the track make money and help the driver make some money, the way we're going to do it is the drivers are going to be able to make $5 for everybody who uses their code, and that's important for everybody to hear that, because you'll want to use the code to get in to buy this TV, so you can help your favorite driver out, so you can watch it, and he gets a little $5 bill besides. And we need to make sure that he's happy with that. You know, it may not make a lot every night, but if he can sell 10 or 12 people, that pays a pit pass or two, or maybe it's fuel to get back and forth to the racetrack. So let's help each other out. Everybody works together. And Rob, I think you can take it from there, and I'll listen for a little bit. But back in when I need to.
Hey, you know, Joe, you did a really good job there. I mean, I think our thoughts from day one is we need to take care of our tracks the best that we can and offer streaming services to everyone. So we need to come up with a formula for them, and we have. We are really working to make sure that they are taken care of. Some of the best in the Midwest right here with what we're going to come up with for them. But we need the racers' help. But really what we need the racers to do is we need to give back to them. And with the costs going through the roof on everything this last so many years, I think our model is you support DirtCrownTV, you're going to make money. And that's what we got to do. I think every time they can get on their Facebook page or word of mouth and share with their supporters, it'll add up. Even 4 or 5 a night, Joe, almost pays for their pit pass, and on and on. I think it's a great deal. It's time to, I think we could call it as profit sharing. It's time we give back to our drivers in a different way, which then, just like you said, will only help the tracks. So
I think it's one of the better ideas for everybody involved, because you know they've got memberships they're paying, they got point funds they want to run for, and we need to work as hard as we can to help these tracks make money in order to invite us back. Every track we walk into or we go into to race our series, we have to remember that we are their guest, and we have to help them or hope that they're making money, because otherwise we don't get invited back. And I really, really believe, Rob, that this is going to help them get them extra people up and down the roads that'll be, they can't make it maybe to follow from the middle of Iowa to McCool Junction, or, from the middle of Kansas for a sprint car ride up to McCool or up to Off Road Speedway. I think that we're going to have a lot of followers, that this is going to just really help us out, help them out, help the drivers out, and make our series bigger and better. And I mean, there hasn't been nobody else come up with the idea. So now, drivers, we need you to help us out also.
Yeah, it really is about helping the racer, and the more they put into it, it's a win-win for everybody, Joe. And I think we need to let the viewers know that this is their way to help the racer as well. It might not seem like a lot at $5 a night, but let's just say they watch 10 DirtCrownTV races, and there's $50 alone from one viewer, and we're going to give that directly to the driver. Here's an interesting deal. We also come up with this. So if you're a Dirt Crown racer, and let's just say you're a stock car racer, you have some supporters that like watching late model races. There's no stock car races going on. You could forward that and ask them to put your code in, and you'll still receive $5. You don't even have to be racing with us to get money off of our broadcast. When you're a member of our groups, you can benefit all the way, and it's going to be really nice to see that. So,
Rob, I only see it growing from here. I think tonight was our night to bring it out. our first race that we're going to be having on TV, I believe it's Deschler, isn't it, Rob?
Actually, on Friday, April 21st, we're going to be in Beatrice, and then followed by Sunday, the 23rd at their county in Deschler. So, yeah, Beatrice and Deschler next weekend.
And Deschler, we've got the Dirt Crown stock cars and the Malvern Bank 360. And I don't think we're on Dirt Crown TV, but the models will be up in Stewart, Iowa that night also. But we've only got one crew right now working our TV. So we're in Deschler, Nebraska to run the two series together.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And just the one crew, we're going to have a great broadcast. We've got some really nice equipment. We've got some really good guys working for us. Lots of nights you're going to see a couple cameras following our broadcasts around. So I think people are going to they're really going to like the production they get from us. We're going to have a lot of highlights during the week. We're already working on that. We're working on driver interviews, getting them set up every single time we go to one of our races, no matter what series it is. So that's something really nice. I think you touched on it a little earlier, but I'll just say it again, Joe, to everybody. We're not just going to do a nightly fee. We're not just going to do we're going to do both. We want to offer the viewer every way to make it as easy as possible. So the service we're going to provide is you can buy it per night, or you can do the annual subscription. So that'll be helpful, we believe, to our viewers going forward.
On the annual subscription, Rob, I want to be up front with all the viewers and the racers. If someone buys an annual subscription, they're going to get, I believe we figured that out at 10% of the cost. Am I right? So it'd be, am I right at $15 on the racer will receive $15, but it'll just be the one time when they buy the annual subscription. Am I right?
Yep. If a racer gets a viewer to put their code in for an annual subscription, they'll get $15 right then and there for a one-time deal. And like you said earlier, per night show, they'll get $5 per viewer on the per night. So both ways the racer is making. And hey, can we also talk about this, Joe? Let's not leave the tracks out here. And in all seriousness, the more broadcast viewership we can sell here, the more the track's going to bring in. But it's not just that. We have come up with a really nice amount that we're going to pay each track that we're working with. We've talked to all of them so far. I feel like we've come up with a comfortable rate that is very fair. We believe is very fair in kind of checking with what they're getting or with what other tracks are getting. We want the tracks to succeed here. If the tracks aren't going to succeed, they're not willing to pay the purses, they're not willing to have our series, then this is all for naught. So I think all together we can make this better. And I'm excited to bring these streams to different tracks that usually don't have them. And I'm sure excited for our racers to be able to make money off of their time and talents. Because let's be honest, they have to put a lot of time in during the week getting these cars ready. They have to spend a lot of money. The costs have probably doubled in the last 10 years. It's just getting outrageous. We need to help them. And this is a way to help them by just giving money straight off of this Dirt Crown TV broadcast. Joe, I'm excited to work with you guys, Lisa and the team. I think we can stay pretty organized. We'll have a lot going on. But we just launched DirtCrown.tv for a website. Everyone can go there. It is live. We are not accepting purchases quite yet. If it works out this weekend, we should have a lot of this up and running and a schedule to put out. Our schedule is almost made. And we've got the teams just starting getting ready to put the driver codes in. So if you are a potential viewer or a driver that wants to learn about your code, we are working on that. And that'll be nice to put out pretty soon. Every racer that's a member of one of our 3 series will have a code, and that's what the viewer will put in. And you can make as much as you want, however many viewers put your name in. It could be a decent night for you.
Well, Rob, what they need to think about is how many times has their wife's been out working. They might work at an insurance company or dental office, and the people say, well, what is your boyfriend or your husband? We can't never get to the racetrack to watch him. And they can then say, hey, you can watch them race. They're definitely going to be here this week. and they're going to be at this track, and you can watch them right on your telephone or on your TV, and the driver's wife or girlfriend's helping the driver make $5.
Right. It's kind of a form of sponsorship or support, just like that, and it will add up. I mean, $5 doesn't sound like a lot, but you take the cost of what a nightly viewership would cost. I think it's a nice amount. And Joe, I think we talked about this so many nights. We need to do this. This is the right thing to do for the drivers. It's different. We understand that. People aren't used to doing it this way. It's a whole different business model even. But we understand if we're really going to keep racing where it needs to be, or even possibly raise the bar, this is what exactly needs to happen. And this is our way to be able to help. Am I correct, Joe?
I truthfully 100% believe that these racers, when they start getting a little bit of money back, they're going to find out that it's going to be well worth it to take their time and say, hey, I'm racing here this weekend, and let's hope that the racetracks get their money out of it. So they understand we are really doing this for, by the time we pay our crew, we have to have a lot of numbers in order for Dirt Crown or the Malvern Bank Sprint Cars or the SLMR series to be able to make enough to make it worth our time. We're doing this basically to help the driver, the racetrack, keep our series alive, so we can keep them going and get races in the future.
Yeah, I agree with you. It might not be what typically happens. I can't even say this is a for-profit deal right now. It's going to be tight, but we want to keep our series going. We want to keep racers having the opportunity to race at all these different tracks, and we want to make sure these tracks are able to continue to host us. So this is our way to say thank you back to the tracks, and thank you to the racers. I mean, really, we're all on the same team together here, and we need each other. If we become unbalanced and one side's making all the money or having all the success, then it's not going to work. So this is a way that I think we can balance it all out better. We're excited to work with these racetracks. Can't wait to announce that here in just a few days. Many of you will know a lot of these tracks, but right now, currently, a lot of these tracks don't have streaming services, so it's going to be fun to get in there. Some of them have maybe tried it in the past a little bit, but you're going to see SLMR late models, East and West Series. You're going to even see some crossover races with them. You're going to see Malvern Bank 360 sprint cars at some different tracks that maybe you've never seen before. Joe has worked hard to get those out of I-80 to spread across a couple states here, so that'll be fun. And then our Dirt Crown stock cars, we're having a lot of good success with that. And I can't wait for people to see that. Joe, just as an example, we were in Norfolk on Saturday night, and we had a lot of people wondering about streaming. And just unfortunately, we did not have that at that time. So we're going to make sure that we have streaming. I do want to throw this in. We still are going to promote every race that we are not having any of our races streamed. Say they're with a competitor, we're going to promote that because we want to make sure that that track can get as many race cars as they can there. We support that. We know that helps us as well. So even if it's not on DirtCrownTV, the most important thing is that our racers are getting noticed and our tracks are doing well. So like I said, we're a team player, and I think that's really the only way to make this work.
I'm excited, Rob.
So, Ryan, what's your thoughts?
Well, just to reiterate, I mean, just the fact no one else is trying this right now. There's a lot of streaming companies, and we're aware that we have a lot of competitors out there, but that's the reason why I started really being passionate about helping you guys. It comes from the get-go last year when you started this whole deal. It's always been about the track and the drivers, trying to get them something more and more for the drivers. That's always been, since I've been with you guys, that's always been the first thing what we're thinking about, okay? So this is just an extension of that. So, I mean, this isn't just a get money, more money for Dirt Crown, you know? Like Joe said, we got to have a lot of numbers for us to continue to do it. So it's going to take everyone to come together to make this work. But I think if everyone pulls together, the drivers, the tracks, us promoting them, I think this could be a huge hit for the area. And I just like the fact of, last year, just for example, the Stock Car Crown, we had plenty of races that weren't streamed. It's also amplifying the series. The more eyes are on it, the more it's going to be more attractive for sponsors. And it's also for the drivers, promoting the drivers. Like you said, Rob, we're really going to be passionate about featuring our series drivers. So each night we'd love to get down to the pits, talk to 2 or 3 drivers, and we'll post them on social media. You can share them around to your family. You thanking your sponsors. We'll show off your race cars. We'll also have those on the stream during downtime. If we've got some track prep, we're going to try to do some featurettes throughout the year and stuff. So, it's not just us bringing one camcorder and plugging it into the audio and going. We're going to have full instant replay graphics like any other streaming service. Our way of differentiating is just giving back to the drivers and a lot to the racetracks. So we're just really passionate about helping everyone. So I think that's just reiterating that is important, I would say.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Ryan. And we're so excited to be able to bring this to everyone. It's something a little different. I'm going to just go out here and ask, can everybody share this? And let's make this a big deal. We're going to have a Facebook post here coming out any minute about this. We want everybody to know what we're all about. Joe and his team, Joe's trying to build his brand with his SLMR and his sprint cars. And this is the way we do it, Joe, right? We just take care of each other, take care of the drivers and tracks, and it should all work out.
I believe it's going to work out to be, let's put it this way. We are the only ones that I'm aware of that's giving back to the drivers to help them out. Most tracks get something back, but they don't get the drivers help in a lot of cases of promoting their race to help them get a better group of people that may not be coming to the races that would buy the race because they know they're going to be there. So this is something that we're trying to help out with. We know there's other avenues of people getting driving people to them tracks on other platforms, but we feel this is going to work the best for us.
Yep. Agree. So I guess just to kind of go back over this, we do have a schedule. It's mostly built. We're looking about roughly 35 nights right now, and that 35 nights is going to feature events. It's pretty much divided into thirds, from stock car races to SLMR races, and also to the 360 Sprint series as well. We've also included a couple random specials that even have different classes than typically. It's not just going to be just IMCA classes and the like. We are going to feature a couple other. We're going to go to a couple shows that want to show off something a little different. So our viewers are going to have a lot of options. That's why another reason Joe and I felt like it was a good partnership. We don't offer the same exact thing. We're going to be able to give our viewers so much different between our 3 series and then a few other different classes of races as well throughout the whole season.
Hey, Rob, I got to ask you a question that I never asked you before. What about if my turkey chase, my go-kart guys want to get a code in there in order for them to be able to sell the streaming for the turkey chase in November? Will they be able to work out something there?
See, Joe, I think this is so easy. There's no reason why we can't do this, right? I mean, you've got a nice field of cars that support you every year in that turkey chase. They should be able to do exactly the same things as these other drivers. I think we should definitely look at adding the turkey chase to DirtCrownTV when you have it in November. And I think those drivers need to earn through their time and talents the same thing. They need to earn some profit off of what they do.
I'm good with that. So let's go on with this thing. Let's get it built and get it on the road, the way I say it.
Awesome. Well, I think we're good here. Ryan's got some graphics up on the screen of our DirtCrownTV website. We'll have a Facebook page launching too. Or is that up already also, Ryan?
It's already up. Go give it a like.
Go give it a like. So go there, and we're going to be featuring a lot of things on there very shortly here. We just wanted to get this out tonight so everybody kind of knew what we were doing. We've only got a little more than a week before our first race. So like I said, we'll get those driver codes made soon here so the viewers can type those in and be able to give back to the racers like they deserve. And racers, this is for you. And the more you help this, the more you can help yourself and also the racetracks as well, because without the racetracks, we wouldn't even have this opportunity. So I think that's all I got. Joe, do you got anything else you want to add?
I have nothing else.
All right. Well, Joe is on the road tonight. So, Joe, thanks for your time. We'll let you go, and I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds real good, Rob. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there we go. I suppose what we could do too, while we're on the topic, we can kind of walk people through the website just so they can kind of get familiar with it. When they go in, you'll have obviously your subscribe button up top. You can also subscribe here. But here's a list of just some of our most recent plays. This will update throughout the year to what is the next upcoming events. You can either click on this area or the live events button up top, and this will take you right to our events page. Once we get our schedule out, we're going to have this full with every single one of our events. And so we actually have pre-registration for each of the events when I create it. So for this race in Albion, you can actually go on once we have the payment system live. You'll actually be able to go on and buy the event at any point. So 37 days away, you can still go on and purchase it now if you'd like. You'll also be able to search by series to make it really easy because you're going to have 30, 40 events on here. So you can search by sprint cars and it'll pull up each of the sprint car events. I'll probably add each of the racetracks on here as well. So you can search by racetrack, makes it super simple for the user. And then do we want to go over the actual, what everything's going to cost, Rob?
Let's just roll that out right now.
Okay,
I think that's
so
important.
Pretty much what it is, we're going to have 3 different options for everyone. The first option is the season pass. For $150, you will get every single one of our events throughout the year, okay, and full replays as well. So I think we're looking at between 30 to 40 events by the time we get this thing buttoned up. And so you do the math, that's less than $5 is what you're paying per event, which is cheaper than, pretty much everything else going on in the area. So that's a great deal for you. Each one of at least most of our single passes, we're going to have a single pass. So if you want to just purchase one event like this Thayer County Speedway event, that'll be $23.99. Okay, $23.99 is what we'll be going for that. And then you'll also be able to buy a replay pass. So if you're someone who doesn't necessarily want to enjoy the live portion, let's say you're trying to enjoy a lot of the races in person on Fridays and Saturdays, which is awesome. We could still have a replay pass for you. $15 per month will get you full replays, and you'll have full access to the full broadcast. You'll be able to go back and replay as many times as you want. So those are some of the different levels that we'll have. And you can also message the DirtCrownTV page if you have questions. But on the code side of things, we're still working on that. That's been a bit of a process getting going because, like Rob and Joe have said, this has not been done before. So we're going about it pretty slow, making sure we have everything right. So all you drivers out there, be waiting for some emails, some text messages, letting you know what your code is, and then you'll be able to start sharing that. And I believe the way we're setting it up, we'll have a code for you at the beginning of the year, and you can use that code every single night throughout the year. We're hopefully not going to have to give you a separate code each event because that'll be just a pain for you guys. So we're trying to make it super simple for you. And I think Rob and Joe did a great job of just talking about how we're divvying that out to both the drivers and the racetrack. So, but yeah, we're over the years, we're also going to have those driver interviews we're talking about. Those will also come up on the website. We'll have those posted. We're going to have highlights and the replays on here as well. And we're also going to have the Inside Line podcast each and every episode on here as well. So if you want to go back and rewatch episode 5 from this year, next year, you can go back and do so. So We're just trying to get as much content out there. It looks a little bare bones right now just because we haven't gotten going yet. But after next Sunday, we're going to have some content for you guys. So as we see right here, obviously, we're going to be invading Beatrice next Friday for the rescheduled Spring Nationals. We're excited to be back with Tommy and the gang there. And then on Sunday, I'm really excited to get back to Deschler. 2 of our touring series there at one event. That's a great way to kick off the weekend, Rob.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to have those kind of big races. The fans in Deschler or the fans that can't make it and watch on our Dirt Crown TV are going to have a pretty good treat for that one. It'll be a good one.
Absolutely. Yeah, and once again, we do have a Facebook page, and this is where we're going to be posting a lot of our highlights and stuff. And so just go ahead and get on there. Give us a like, give us a share if you can. And we're going to be pumping out a lot of content this summer. And we're using this as a tool to promote our drivers and our racetracks. That's the biggest way I could describe this. It's a promotion tool to get eyeballs on drivers and tracks.
It's as simple as we can make it. I mean, the concept is very simple. Let's highlight our drivers. Let's build their brand. Let's build our brands, help our racetracks. Hey, Ryan, I wanted to throw this in here. I think this is very important here. We had a race in Norfolk, and we had a lot of our Dirt Crown West members sign up, including a decent amount of our Dirt Crown East and West combo or dual membership drivers. We have not made it over to the East for a race yet. That's going to be at the end of May. We're going to be heading to an East race. But just to make sure, if you're a Dirt Crown stock car or stock car racer that's going to sign up with Dirt Crown, or you're a late model racer that's going to sign up with SLMR East or West, or you're going to a sprint car racer and you're going to become a member of the Malvern Bank 360 series, try to do that as soon as possible, because if you do that, you're going to get your code shortly here, and you can plug that in right away next weekend already at these Dirt Crown stock car races in Beatrice and Deschler. So even if you're not racing them, still get yourself signed up to be a member of one of these 3 series, and automatically you'll get a code kicked to you, and you can start earning money if you can throw some supporters to your supporters to become viewers that night. So once again, you don't even have to be racing to earn money as long as you're a member of one of our 3 series. So please, everyone, try to get signed up as soon as you can.
Yeah, and the best way I could put it is on a given night, you can make $5 or $500. We want you to make money because it's also making the track money as well, because every purchase you're selling, part of that is not just going to you, it's going to the racetrack. So that's the best way we can put it. And I just think of a guy like, just say, Josh Leonard on the western part of the state, SLMR driver. He's driving over to, I guess, any Iowa track that we're going to be going to. Talk about a haul. Some of his fans can't make it. There it is right there. So, or just even some of our, let's say, Jeff Ware going up to Houston Speedway for Silver Dollar on a Wednesday night. Maybe not all of his fans can make it. Perfect opportunity for him to make a few bucks to pay for some gas to get up there. And all of his great viewers can check it out, depending on what shows we have. That's just an example of traveling. Sure. So,
no, great job, Ryan. I appreciate you did a lot of work to help get this off the ground, and we've got some other team members behind the scenes that are really helping us. I'm excited about our crew that's going to be in the booth broadcasting every week, and we've got some more that are coming on board too. I think the future is bright. I think we just need to remember we're here to help the racers, and we're here to help the racetracks. It's as simple as that. So if we just stay with that, I think we're gonna be pretty good.
Absolutely. I'm excited. This next week, this has been a long process. This has been going on for months now, us getting everything going. But the fact that it's finally here, it's definitely exciting. And the fact tonight's been a night I've been looking for a while, just being able to get it out to everyone, see what everyone's reaction is. So absolutely. I suppose we just move on, and why don't we let's dive back a little bit into the Off Road Speedway event Saturday, Rob, just to really hammer down the point of what a great night that was. Obviously, Jeff Ware picked up the win on Saturday night, $2,000 to the winner there. Jordan Grabowski, last year's champion, finished second. Austin Bronner third. Dan Nelson fourth, and Lance Borgman fifth. You know how we have the hard charger standings this year, Rob? How about this? Already this year, Lance Borgman went from 17th to 5th to get that top 5. And how about two other drivers? Elijah Zevenbergen, 23rd to 8th, and at one point he was up to 5th. So he's making a lot of moves already. And Shane Stutzman went 22nd to 9th. So to say the track was still racy, even though it was top dominant, there was still a lot of passing. And, I mean, those are some drivers that are having a good start to the year for the $1,000 to win hard charger at the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, that was a racy racetrack, big time. And Elijah Borgman, those are all points that are going to add up all year long. Last year, it came down to the last night, and Austin Bronner passed a couple guys for that in points at the last race at I-80 Speedway, and ends up at the banquet collecting a $1,000 check. And don't forget, I think it was Jordan Grabowski was a narrow second there, and he picked up $500. So this year on the West, we have Black Diamond Exteriors, Dusty Schmidt from Fairbury and his new business. He has signed on to be the sponsor there. So Elijah picked up $140 cash. That's going to happen at every single Dirt Crown West race this year. And then also there'll be $1,500 sitting there at the end of the year at the banquet for our top two, 1,500. We currently are still working for a hard charger on the East. I'm hopeful we'll find that so they can enjoy the same benefits. So, but yeah, great for all the guys. There was a lot of passing, and for the viewers that weren't here earlier when we had Jeff on, what a great race. He held off some pretty big dogs that were in that field, and he almost had a flawless race.
Yeah, and I mean, there was a lot of good drivers that didn't make the show too. There was fast drivers. They had a C feature, Rob. Instead of two Bs, we did a C feature, B feature, A feature. There was a lot of fast guys that didn't make the show, and that's going to play key in the points because I believe this year we don't have a mulligan like we did last year. So it's going to be interesting how the points break down at the end of the year. And another change too, going back to the hard charger, you guys are also adding up heat races, C features, and B features into that equation too. It's not just if you make the A feature. So if someone goes from the C feature all the way to the A, they're sitting pretty good in points.
Well, right. And if you go from 8th to 2nd in points, you're going to get in a heat race. I mean, you're going to get 6 points. I think that's very valuable. We want to encourage competitive racing. We want guys up on the wheel at all times. That's what our fans deserve. And that's what these track promoters, they really deserve this. If they're going to put that much money into an A feature purse, they need guys moving, or a nightly purse, I should say. So we want to encourage everybody. We even give bonus points, 3, 2, 1 for the total night just from heat races. So every time you're on the track, you're earning points for a Dirt Crown show. So you got to get up on the wheel and you got to move. But yeah, it's going to be different than just features like last year. We're going to include everything for hard charger this year.
That's awesome. So that's one of our tailored computers and repair QuickTime headlines. Number 2, how about coming up this Friday, as we said, Eagle Raceway, the next stop on the West Series. I bet those East guys are chomping at the bit to get some racing in, since it's going to be May before we get to them. Hopefully, maybe since that's closer to the Iowa border, maybe we get some guys coming over to the West here a little bit this weekend and next weekend with Beatrice on Friday of next week. But I'm really excited to see this event Friday. Last year, obviously, this is going to be the 3rd year of the stock cars at Eagle Raceway, like Roger said when he was on the show a few weeks ago. After they dropped the compacts, replaced them with the stock cars. But last year when I was announcing their weekly, that was probably one of the most consistently top shows each and every night was the stock cars. Didn't matter if they had 15 or 25 of them. That track is racy as all get out. So you're going to have a lot of hard chargers in this race too. So if you haven't experienced Eagle Raceway, highly recommend, especially if you're a fan. There's not one person at that racetrack that didn't have a good time. So get on out Friday and Saturday. They're racing 2 days. We're there on Friday for the icebreaker. They'll also be racing Saturday as well if the weather holds up. So I'm excited to have Eagle back going again.
Yeah, I'm excited. Roger letting us join in this year. We tried to make it work last year, but Mother Nature wouldn't let it work. Hopefully we can still squeak that out and get by with Mother Nature not getting us too. But you're right. That's a fast 3rd mile. I think they call it the world's fastest 3rd mile track. And you put stock cars with horsepower, you put good drivers behind the wheel, and fenders out there. You've got guys on each other, and they're rubbing through the corner, and they have to go. I mean, it's go time when anytime you're at Eagle. So that's going to be exciting Friday night. Can't wait to see everybody.
Absolutely. And that will also be streamed on eagleraceway.tv. So head on over there. If you can't make it, you want to sit at home and watch. Obviously, a lot of that goes back to the racetrack as well. So eagleraceway.tv to watch that. Our final quick time headline, I was really proud to see this with everything Joe's been doing with the SLMR and now the 360s getting going again. Fantastic car count over at Shelby County Speedway. They hosted the Awakening Part 1 on Friday and the Awakening Part 2 on Saturday, a combo show with both the SLMR and 360s. I think they had 23 or 24 360 sprint cars both nights there, Rob. So that is an awesome first start to that series getting going.
Yeah. And, like we said last year, that series, that was just an I-80 type of deal. And this year expanding out, and great for Doug and the guys at Shelby County over there to let Joe come in with the 360s. And then you put it on with the SLMR at the same night, and great show. I know there's some sprint car drivers out there that aren't quite ready, so I could see those numbers possibly growing even in the upcoming weeks and races. And I'm excited. Our DirtCrownTV new adventure, we're going to have a lot of 360 races, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun, but good for Shelby County. I think Joe had a good weekend over there.
Absolutely. So Friday night for the SLMR, this was the West Series, I believe, that was at Harlan. And they did a little bit different qualifying. Friday, they had twin A features that I think paid $1,000 or $2,000 to win. And Justin Zeitner and J.C. Wyman won both of those. And then Jesse Sabe won the big paycheck on Saturday night. So 3 different SLMR winners over the weekend. Friday night for the Malvern Bank 360s, it went to Jason Martin, who is a national ASCS driver last year and continuing that this year. And then Stu Snyder, of course, he's a very well-known 360 and race saver sprint car driver in the area. He picked up the win on Saturday night. And I know Stu is actually a member of the Malvern Bank 360s. So, yeah, that was great to see. And that's one racetrack I really want to get to this year or next with the reconfiguration going from, I believe it was a half mile cutting down to like a mix of a third, a quarter mile. And I have to check with Chris to see what the actual length of that track is, but that's a great facility out there.
Yeah, we wish them luck this year, and maybe we could see them here. I know at the end of the year, our Dirt Crown stock cars will be out there for our championship East-West Challenge in October to round up our cap off our year. It's going to be great. I think we're going to have a lot of stock cars at that race at the end of the year. So those guys really work hard over there. It's going to be exciting to see how they do.
Awesome. Well, I think that's going to wrap us up. Rob, you got anything else before we head out?
I'm just glad you're back, Ryan. I don't know where you've been for a while, but you came back. You must have scared Scott off tonight.
That's what I was thinking. It's where's Scott? I got a little payback here.
Right. Where's Scott? That's the question. But we'll get Scott back in studio soon. And no, we've got a lot of cool things going on, but we just got to remember why we're doing it. We're doing it for the racers and for racing in general. So excited that everybody's jumping on board with us. Let's just keep this thing going together.
Absolutely. Once again, be watching social media. We got a lot of info coming out here in the next few weeks about DirtCrownTV and continuing to promote our series as well. So once again, if you're in the area of a racetrack, get out and support it. Eagle Raceway this weekend. Next weekend, Beatrice Speedway on Friday. Deschler, Thayer County Speedway on Sunday. Let's fill these racetracks. And if you can't make it, go ahead and tune in to DirtCrown.tv. And we got some expansions of that even a little bit later. Right now, it's only available on website, DirtCrown.tv, but we have some plans maybe for an expansion here in the next month or two. So keep eyes out for that yet too. So on behalf of that, everyone at Inside Line, of course, big thank you to Dirt Track Bank for title sponsoring Inside Line each and every Wednesday. And of course, Tailored Computers and Repair bringing us our quick time headlines for Rob, Scott, Tommy, and Angie, and everyone at Dirt Crown Promotions. Ryan Cuffs, thanks so long. Have a good rest of your Wednesday evening, and we'll see you at the racetrack this weekend, everybody. Have a good one.